All right, quick recap from the last guided practice session. Now, the project I chose is called Two Truths and a Lie, where students identify the lie and define their claim in a 2-minute argument. It ties to my larger course goal of consuming and applying academic research. Now, by the end of this project, I want students to be comfortable reading and engaging with academic research that I've curated for them. I want them to understand basic immunology and be at 80% proficiency when crafting these 2-minute arguments. All right, so we're in a good place to begin crafting our roadmap for this project. Now, when I create a project roadmap, I start by thinking about how that project fits into the larger course itself, because that's backward design. Everything ties into our larger course goal or learning outcomes. So we start with the larger picture. The course I'm developing is about 15 weeks. I always dedicate the first full week of class to community building, setting expectations, just generally getting comfortable in our space. So that means I really only have 14 weeks to guide students to full comprehension of the course goals and learning outcomes that I've developed. Now, the project that I'm planning fits into a course goal focused on consuming research. This is obviously not the only course goal that I have. I have at least 4 others that are tied together in some way or another. But I do know that I want students to be at 100% proficiency with this goal of consuming research by at least week 9 of my course, because their final project is dependent on their ability to, consume research. That means I only have about 8 weeks to spend on this course goal. So, where does our project fit into this? Now, I would know that I want to revisit this activity at least twice, once as a teacher-facilitated project, the other as a student-led project. Now, I'm just going to do an even split here, so 4 weeks for the first iteration of the project, 4 weeks for the second. That means I have 4 weeks to get students comfortable with reading academic research, up to speed with basic immunological concepts, and at about 80% proficiency with crafting these 2-minute arguments. Actually, that feels pretty doable. I'm happy with the timing for now. All right, so this is a good point to pause the video and think about the timing of your project. Think about how your project fits into the larger semester and how much time you have to spend on the project. Think about the goals of your project and the time frame you establish. Does it seem reasonable? All right, our last step, identifying where in the project we plan to check in on student progress. Now, I can envision maybe 3 major touch points attached to this project that look like this. So we have this draft argument and feedback request in week 3. I know that we'd have some heavy coaching leading up to the submission and really up until the final submission of the argument. I know that we have this final submission of the argument and the upvote in week 4, and then this in-class debrief and reflection week 5. Now, I love ending a project with a reflection. I usually ask students to identify what they did well, what they haven't quite grasped yet, and what steps they plan to take to improve the next iteration. I really like ending with reflection because it makes the project feel a little bit more meaningful. Like this is a growing body of work, a growing practice. All right, so that's it for my example. Now it's your turn. Share your roadmap below, and remember this can be text-based, an image, or some combination of the two. Keep it high level, keep it conversational, and I'm really excited to see what you have put together.